All right. So what we're doing here is we're checking fuel pressure, and if the fuel pump was a dinosaur, how long would the prime be?
2 seconds.
There you go. So we're looking for the 2-second prime. We're gonna turn the key on, engine off, and we'll check and see how much pressure we develop here. Go ahead. All right, bang. So we registered something. Let's get a zoom up. And we got a little over 50 pounds of pressure here. So what we'll do is we'll double check with specs and see if everything coincides. Start the car up. And now we're gonna check running pressure. So now we're checking running pressure on the gauge. All right. So now the pump is running continuously, and we can hear the injectors. The injectors are working, okay, and we're above 50, okay, and it's fluctuating there. All right. That little bit of fluctuation is normal because the pressure regulator is not vacuum controlled. The pressure regulator on this type uses a calibrated spring inside the pump. So this is the type that you got to replace the whole pump assembly.
Well, on this one, the regulator is right on the side of the back. I can show you.
Oh, really, huh? All right, I'm gonna have to take a look at it. But so far so good as far as your running pressure is concerned. Let's shut it down and check the drain back. All right, so now what we'll do is we'll hold it. It should hold pressure for about at least a good 5 minutes, okay? And it should stay above 30 pounds within 5 minutes. That's the general rule of thumb. If it falls down to 0 right away, that means that the check ball that's inside the fuel pump is worn out and is now holding the prime in the line. Right now in the fuel rail, we got pressure, okay? And that pressure goes all the way back to the tank. So there's a check ball or check valve inside the fuel pump that holds that pressure, and it leaks down, but it leaks down very slowly, like a residual check valve, okay?
You want to turn the car back on and just...
So when you go to turn the car back on, bang, okay, you got pressure right there, all right? So it should hold that pressure, okay, and stay above 30 at least for the first 5 minutes, right?
Now,
after 5 minutes, it'll slowly but surely start to go down.
Now, what happens, let's say, if at 2 minutes it starts going down, it's still
Then we can blame it on the check.
We can blame it on the ball?
We can blame it on the check, exactly, the check valve inside, the check ball inside the fuel pump, and replace the whole assembly. Now, what's unique here about this situation is that this is a returnless type fuel system. If it had a return line, then the question would be if maybe the pressure regulator is leaking, okay? What we would do, or maybe one of the injectors are leaking, and that's why we're losing pressure. So in order to diagnose that, the return line will be pinched, okay? Let's say you had one that was dropping. What you would do is you would pinch the return line. If it stopped dropping, that means the pressure regulator is back. You understand? Okay. If it continues to drop, then once again you can blame the check ball, or maybe you got a faulty injector that's leaking. All right. Now, if you want to check a faulty injector, what you do is you pinch the return line, you build up pressure. You pinch the return line, you build up pressure, okay, and then you pinch the inlet, okay, and you see if pressure holds in the rail. Pressure holds in the rail, then that means your injectors are good, okay? So we're looking pretty good here, it's holding. So let's take a volume test and see if we got any volume.